Hey, big man.
Yeah.
How are you doing, mate?
What's going on, brother? Have an amazing morning, man. Beautiful
Yeah.
morning.
Because
Yeah.
it's the morning now, isn't it? And where are you based? You're based in LA, aren't you?
Yeah, I grew up in Los Angeles, and when the whole pandemic happened, I had to decide to be with family or be, nomadic, and I
Yeah.
decided to come back, and it's been great. It's been great.
Exactly the same for me, mate. I haven't been home for 4 years, and being back home, I think I was running. I felt like I was running from something, running from my past, maybe. So being home has made me confront some of those issues. So it's been amazing. As you've probably seen this, Parker, mate. It's 10 minutes just cutting the fat on mental health, getting really down to the basics, and I'm basically talking to slash interviewing some of my closest, most inspirational friends, and you fall into that category, young man. So there we are. If you'd like to just basically just tell everyone, what you feel like your purpose is, like what do you do? What's your title? What's your job?
Yeah. My passion right now,
Mm,
I actually run men's retreats,
nice.
and it's about like conscious relationships among men and them
Hmm.
to be able to open up. So I do a few things. I host a virtual men's circle because of COVID. We can't meet, right?
Hmm.
But we've been doing that every other week, and it's people from around the world, people from around the country. And so we're just kind of like creating a container to be able to like just get the shit out and have sovereignty and privacy too, to be able to like share it as a group. And then I also do in-person men's circles. So actually hosting a retreat this upcoming weekend in the
Nice.
forest with 20 guys, and it is my calling. It is my purpose. Like, I've had these experiences, and I'm sure you have, like traveling, and with the retreats, I'm trying to create a container of growth that I was able to experience, but in a container of a few days. And
Mm.
how do you get someone that works 50 hours a week in the city to have a mind opening and enough space to be able to really evaluate what's going on?
And it's so important, right? Because when we were in Bali, we were kind of blessed. We were living that Bali lifestyle where we kind of had time to go to these things. But maybe in the Western world, men especially don't feel they might have time to express themselves. So that is amazing that you're doing them over there. And I wish I was there to get involved, mate. So
Oh
yeah,
man.
one day I'll be over
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
mate.
for
One day.
sure, for sure, for
So yeah, if you just want anyone who's watching now or someone's going to be watching later, can you just tell them how you went through a poor mental health struggle in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my background is hospitality, and I absolutely love hospitality, and I have nothing against it. But
People person,
um,
right?
what?
Being around
Yeah,
people, yeah.
I'm like, I always try to be the best host possible, whether it's someone at
Mm,
my house, whether it's a party, whether it's whatever it is. I'm trying above and beyond always. And so, hospitality, I came into it after college because I was popular. I had a lot of friends, and so they put me in a position right away. Like I was bartending and VIP hosting, and my background is more nightclubs and
hmm.
restaurants,
Yeah.
and it was great going into it. Like that was a part of my life. I was partying, I was having a good time. There was no worry in the world, right? And coming in, I was like in an industry that like I'm meeting some of my favorite football players and athletes and celebrities, and we're like actually like hiring these people to perform at my club, and it was just like unreal. And I saw just beautiful people everywhere. It was just like incredible, beautiful people, and I'm like, wow, I made it. Like I'm here,
Yeah. Yeah.
And years go on, and you realize that you see those beautiful people that you saw are the same people you see every weekend,
Hmm.
and uh, it was like a like what is my purpose? Because I eventually saw that me handing them the shot or the champagne or whatever once was a celebration, but now I could tell they were like it was a weekly thing, and it was no longer fulfilling to me. So my mental health journey.
I'm sorry, man. Sorry, but it's kind of like a shallow existence for a deep man who, like, I think we're very similar. We thrive for connection. That's where we're at our best, when we're connected with people. And I guess in that shallow existence, at first it was nice to touch the surface, but then you realize there's no depth to it.
Totally. And I do have friends from that part of my life that I'll have forever, but the majority of it was very shallow. And so like I started building this like this ego of the relationship I had, the girl I loved, a beautiful girl. I had an amazing job, and I had a social status and relationships and friends and all that. And it was just growing, and I felt untouchable. I felt amazing, you know? And all of a sudden, just like boom,
Bang.
bang, it like literally collapsed. Like I found out like my relationship, like she was cheating on me. I was working like 100 hours a week because I was hired for the position, not because I was qualified. It was because I was the right person for the job. So I had to work like 10 times harder to be able to like manage this like big nightclub. All of a sudden, like I started questioning my friends and loyalty and all that. So it just like literally collapsed overnight. My physical body, I was like a power lifter back in the day, like started collapsing. I was in so much pain. I started like literally the first 2 weeks after finding out my relationship was ending, I slept in a park next to my house. So my roommates couldn't hear me cry. That's how like out of touch everything was in my life. And I had minimal people to talk to, if not any, or if they were like, they were causing just as much suffering for other people that I didn't respect it, even though there were some people that were really there for me.
And
so,
mate, Parker, sorry, I guess some people just don't understand because they haven't had that similar experience, I guess, as well, maybe, you know. I know from my experience that's what people were like with me, you know, what's wrong with you? Why are you being like that? Why are you being weird? Why do you want to go to Ubud by yourself for 2 months and shave your hair off? Why do you want to do that? Why do you just come stay with me? And it's just about understanding, isn't it, I guess?
Totally. And it's just like literally everything. If you would have asked me who I was, I would have said all of those things. I'm a general manager. I'm you know, because that was being taken away from me. My relationships, my social status, all of it just literally. Boom. And I remember holding my chest and just being like, please, just like, it felt like it was getting ripped open. I couldn't breathe. It was, and on the outside, I started going out way more. I started drinking way more alcohol. I started sleeping with way more women. I was just like, I all of a sudden looked like a complete rock star. But like when I wasn't like in front of people, I was destroyed.
So distraction, right? You know, women, alcohol. You know, similar stories. Like I said to myself, it's just a huge distraction. I'm really cautious of the time here, Parker.
Okay,
we've probably got about another 4 minutes. We could push another 4 minutes here, but you know, from what we just heard, you know, you had this battle with the ego, I guess. Being in that with that social status, having a shallow existence, then bang, you feel like something has to change in you. What actionable steps did you take to really get over that hurdle? Because it is a big hurdle, you know, 25 years, 24 years of your persona built up, then bang, it's all gone.
I had to hit bottom. And when I see people going through tough times, I say, keep going, because like the more you break down, the more you can rebuild. And I was destroyed. And I read a book called Power of Now. And in chapter 7, I believe it's on nature and the relationship. And I stayed in this bubble. Like we find ourselves in these bubbles and doing the same thing for years. And we could draw a map of like where we've been, and it's like within this. And so I just started going out in nature by myself, just like literally driving out in nature. And what happened was she was communicating with me. She was just like, stop the noise. I stopped listening to music altogether. My life was noise, right?
Yeah.
All of it. And I just drove out there by myself and just started sitting there. And what happened was all of a sudden, like sobriety became a breeze, like celibacy, a breeze, effortless. Things were falling away from me so quickly because I was able to find a place to literally decompress all these problems and issues and rebuild myself. It was more of a rebuilding process of like, what do I prioritize? And I literally like come out of this one, I'll be quick, this one sunrise. I literally saw the sunrise come, and it ingrained in me. I saw a deer, a fish, and water and plants. And I said, if I stayed in this canyon long enough and I ate the fish and the deer and drank the water, my body would become a part of this canyon just as much as these creatures.
Yeah.
And I really saw the dynamic of how we are connected to this earth, and I am a part of it. And that's what that sunrise completely changed my life.
And you say there, you know, going into nature and just being still, having no noise. You know, for me that was a big thing as well. Just having nothing around me, no distractions, no music, nothing. And then you really have to face the shit that's going on with you as well. You know, this shit that we usually just, you know, we distract ourselves from with alcohol, drugs, you know, whatever, music. When you have nothing, there's nothing to distract you. It's just you and yourself, and it's the best way to connect to your true self, not your ego. Not this persona you've built up over your life, but your true higher self, which is beautiful, man. So, I mean, if someone was going through what you were going through, what would you say? Like, how would you tell them to do?
So what I say is, like, you're gonna take a car ride, you're gonna go somewhere, and you're gonna want to play music, you're gonna want to do this, you're gonna want to distract yourself in so many different ways, even if it's productive things. And what I recommend is, nature is the biggest medicine on the planet. If you can get out to a national forest, you can get out to a park, you can get out anywhere and have silence and stillness, and you can make that a routine on a weekly basis. It is the medicine that we are all missing if it's not a part of your life already. What's going to happen? Decompress. And the things no longer are you going to be run by our conditionings of like what we used to like to do yesterday. That will leave, and friends will like disappear out of your life, and then friends will reappear, just like our relationship. You know, we took steps in a direction to empower ourselves, and then I'm standing next to someone who's doing the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
You know, and that's what's beautiful about it. So it's get out there.
And the thing that I find so beautiful about this story, you know, you say that you had no men, and you were probably scared about crying in front of your friends, your male friends, in case of the stigma of crying in front of your friends. I think it's so beautiful now that, you know, from hitting rock bottom, you've realized that your purpose or your passion is now to be that container for men to be able to cry in front of you and to cry in front of other men. And it's giving me goosebumps now talking about, which I think is beautiful, man. And hopefully I can do the same over this side of the pond sometime soon. Parker, legend, mate. Thank you so much for coming on, brother. It's always amazing to see you.
I love you, bro. I had to be a part of this movement, man. Like, I saw what you're doing, and I'm like, fuck yeah. So thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, mate, always, man. And I'll be over to America soon, so I hope there's a bed or a couch waiting for me, mate.
Hey, man, there's a tent and some camping. So
legend. Thank you so much, Parker. Thank you so much, brother. Look after yourself and speak to you soon. Love you too.